exploration
So morning to all of you. May I request you to please take your seats. We are good to start with our discussions. Thank you for the patience, ladies and gentlemen. Slight delay, but as I mentioned to you, the reason, I think now we are good to start. May I request people who are still standing to please take your seats. And also very humble request to all of you to kindly have your mobile phones on the silent mode or on the meeting mode. Thank you again. It's a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to be extending a welcome to all of you on behalf of Economic Times to the CFO Summit 2015. And thank you to each one of you for joining us in these discussions and deliberations this morning as we have a special focus towards understanding and analyzing this new role of the Chief Financial Officer in this extremely changing, challenging, and yes, competitive times. Myself, Vimi Chaudhary, I'm the moderator or the facilitator of this day-long discussions and the revenue generation. And in the midst of all these economic uncertainties, in the midst of this increasing regulatory requirements, in the midst of this increasing investor scrutiny, the need and the demand of having a strong financial leader has never been felt more than before. And today, thus, the role of the CFO is becoming all the more demanding, all the more challenging, evolving, and subjected to a lot of scrutiny, both internally as well as externally. And not just limited now to the traditional role of being a cost manager or a financial operator. Today, he's also an enterprise manager. Today, he's also a strategist who's understanding the pros, the cons, the challenges, the opportunities. He's strategizing, he's planning, he's looking for these growth models and business models which can help his organization grow and evolve. At the same time, he's also a catalyst, trying to instill that financial approach in the various departments of his organization, get that financial prudence, that attitude and mindset among the people so as to achieve more from less. And in all this, as he wears all these hats, he's also a partner, looking for the right kind of partners who can help his business grow. After all, no one person can do a good business if he tries to do it all by himself today. And he's also looking for, again, the right kind of technology which can make him more enabled, adding more proficiency, efficiency, productivity, and competitiveness in his organization. So in this day-long discussion which we have, we are going to be analyzing this new role and the redefined role of the Chief Financial Officer, and also looking into this relationship with the other stakeholders which he has. And that's how we are going to be going about. We have the leading Chief Financial Officers from various enterprises, organizations, from public, private, and government sector joining us, who are going to be sharing with us their views, their experiences. We also have the service providers and the technology partners who are again going to be sharing and talking more about this relationship with the new role of the CFO. So at the outset, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to first invite here the mind, the thought, and the very idea behind this conference and this theme. I would like to first invite here Mr. Arun Kabra, the CFO, Education and Conference Businesses Times Group. Please join me as I invite him here. Thank you.
A very good morning to all present here. It is indeed a pleasure to be part of my peers, the stalwarts of the financial industry, the financial leaders, and it is great that these people have, through their practices and through their thought leadership, has created a growth horizon for the entire nation. Today, as I stand here as part of the finance fraternity, there are few thoughts and challenges which occupy my mind. If I look a few years back, my role was a little strategic, but it was more skewed to operational and financial decisions and operational part of the business. And I I just remember old days. In fact, all of us would remember our old days when we used to work in those systems which were not even integrated. We used to have a lot of trackers around the same transaction. We used to have a lot of cross checks and all that. And a lot of time was getting invested or wasted in that. Even our auditors used to do a lot of tickings around the same transaction. Now we are relieved from all that, and we are able to invest our quality time and energies into ideating and executing new strategies for the business. Now the role of CFO has evolved to a greater extent. It has expanded to a next level where we are actually moving outside of the traditional confines. Today, if we look at that, if from the time where the finance guys were just looking at bookkeeping and P&L maintenance, now we are actually getting involved in the organizational decisions of getting into new business venture, investment decisions, getting into investing into newer technologies and collaborations. So the new age CFO is playing a complex, integral and challenging role, aligning organizational vision across departments. We are now getting involved in all the functions except finance, and with that we are actually partnering the CEO in the overall delivery of the promises we are doing with our shareholders. The era of operational KRAs for CFOs has gone by. We are now generally having three important KRAs. One, top line, bottom line, and the governance. So these are the primary three objectives where the overall KRAs of a CFO are roaming around. While we continue to do many things, we do have a lot of challenges, and to just give you a few examples, we need to see a proper calculation of various risks when we actually do a new investment into a new venture or a new product. We need to look at different complex instruments for capital structuring. There are a lot of changes in the corporate laws recently. There are a lot of changes which are bound to come due to GST, due to GAR. So there are a lot of challenges, and in these challenges, there is a question which comes to every CFO, that what does the CFO role will entail in future, or how the current CFOs can actually take care of expanding their skills to a level where they can keep pace with the changing needs of the organization. Finance is a very critical function for every organization, and that makes it imperative for the CFOs to be aware of all the happenings, and they need to reinvent all their strategies so as to make a financially sound ecosystem for the organization. The Times Group regularly collaborates with the financial leaders and recognizes the stream in order to grow and grow with the nation. The platform organized today brings together visionaries and leaders to discuss critical strategies that will lead to gearing up for the next level in the role of the Chief Financial Officer. Before I formally open this day for a series of insightful discussion revolving around the evolving role of CFOs or methods of strategic transition or evolving CFO-CIO relationships, I would like to introduce ET Edge, an Economic Times initiative under which this summit is being organized. This platform is founded with a vision to complement growth of business houses across industries, across sectors, by providing relevant, timely, and critical B2B information through strategic conferences and summits.